Hello everyone, this is Jamaica with Jamaica Life, and I wanted to talk to you today about some of the things that we as gardeners experience. See behind me? We have a freeze coming in, and I don't have enough room in my greenhouse. Just ran out of room. But you all who are gardeners know that. If you get more room, you plant more. And I have all of my seedlings here because I ran out of room in my grow station, and some of the plants that were outside had already blossomed, and I can't let them go through a freeze because they'll lose all their leaves and they might not come back, especially my seedlings. So I brought all of those plants in. In doing so, there are some problems that you're going to experience. Now, you are not going to experience the depletion of your seedlings and your I have seedlings there, I have trees there, I have bushes there, berry bushes, grapevines. All of that stuff has already sprouted, and I purchased it because it was sprouting and because I knew there was proof of life there. So I didn't purchase most of the plants, bare roots that did not have blossom, with the exception of the stuff I bought online and just one raspberry bush that I haven't planted yet. The rest of the stuff has been planted. All of my dragon fruit is in the house. My soursop is in the house. My, magnolia is in the house. I have a lot of stuff in the house. Grapes, raspberries, blueberries, they're all in the house. Now, the blueberries are on the stand. I was thinking about going ahead and actually I cleared out a room already. I just have to set it up, but the room is so far and out of sight, out of mind for me, that I'm afraid to put my seedlings out there, because then I have to train myself to go to that part of the house, because I don't go to that part of the house most of the time. So you can do a grow room, and a lot of people they have grow tents and grow rooms. You just have to make space for it. You have to, take down some furniture, and develop a room. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. And then you have to climate control that room or that greenhouse. I have a greenhouse outside. It's about, I think, 8 by 12. I realize now that I should have got a bigger greenhouse, because once I put all of my citrus and my overwintered bell peppers in there, I have mango trees in there, and I have avocado trees in there. I have a lot of stuff in there, and aloe vera in there, just to name a few. So after I put those bigger plants into that greenhouse that is heated, because I have a garage heater in there, I can't fit anything else in there. So all of my seedlings are back in my house, which is a little annoying, but it's only for a few days. I'm here in Texas in zone 9A. So the thing about this type of year, this time of year in February, March, it gets cold, then it gets hot. It gets cold and gets hot. It drops to freezing, because it's freezing out there right now. And then it'll be 78 degrees in maybe next week. So when you do stuff like that, first of all, you need to check for bugs. You don't want to bring the roach in your house. You don't want to bring that in there. So check your plants. Just shift the soil a little bit outside before you bring it in. And make sure that you're not bringing any bugs. I've had some ugly bugs show up. I almost brought ants into the greenhouse. I eradicated them before I got into the greenhouse. I haven't seen anything in here. I'm sure I may have brought some stuff in. One thing that I know for sure that I do have is mosquito gnats, mosquito gnats. They bite, by the way. You got to get rid of them. If you do not control mosquito gnats, or whatever, just call them gnats, they'll take over your house. They multiply at a huge rate, a lot. And the way I water, now mosquito gnats, or the gnats, you don't get that from bringing, well, you may, from bringing the soil in and out. You get that from your potting soil that you purchase from the store. One way to avoid that I forgot to do, and somebody mentioned in one of my lives, is to go ahead and pour hot water on your seedling mix. So once you get the soil from the wherever you buy it from, boil a pot of hot water, put it in a 5-gallon jug, and just scorch it. I shouldn't say that word. That'll get rid of the anything any bugs that are in there. It'll burn them up, which is what you want. Because I have had mosquito gnats really bad in this house. I think it was last year, and then it happened the year before last. So every other year. It almost happened this year. I was doing a live and I moved some stuff because they hide out initially. You don't know they're there because they quarantine themselves to a specific area until the population grows, and then they're all over your house, and you're like, oh my God, where'd all of these mosquito gnats come from? And then you got a huge problem because you have to, the way I get rid of them is to treat the soil, because the larvae is in the soil and in that pool of water. If you have a bowl underneath your plant, they're living in there and they're living in your soil. So I'm going to show you what I do to try to get rid of them, because last year I got rid of them. I did not see. I had them for a while, and then when I did this, they're gone. They were gone. Did the same thing here, and I noticed that I don't see that many flying around anymore. The older ones are gonna, they don't live very long, right? It's that reproductive process. You want to stop that. So in order to do that, let me show you what I do. So the first thing you're gonna need is a pitcher of water and an empty pitcher. This one has water in it, this one doesn't. There are two things. You can use mosquito bits. Most likely you're gonna have to order this because I could not find this in the big box store. Or you can go and get some mosquito dunks. Y'all have all seen this. They carry this everywhere. If you get the mosquito dunks, go ahead and crack it up and put it in your empty pitcher. If you get the mosquito bits, and it's the same agent that are in both, you go ahead and get yourself a handful, right? Put it into your jug. Take some water. Fill it up. And let those mosquito bits soak in this water overnight. Then you just use the water that you have in your pitcher, and I suggest you do more than one depending on how many plants you have, and you water the plants with this water. So soak the water, I say a minimum of 12 hours. And you can reuse the mosquito bits over and over again. You don't have to keep on refilling it. After a while, it's not going to be any good. And it says kills mosquito larvae quickly within 24 hours. So that's what you want to do. You want to interrupt the process. And these mosquito dunks do the same thing. And I pull the stuff off, but I'm pretty sure they do the same thing. So I use this, and you can use this. So if you have I buy this because I have water fountains in the front, and sometimes they're not working right. And it's standing water that mosquitoes like. Standing water. And they'll be in there. That's why they recommend that we dump any standing water that is around our house, because that around our house or our property. If you have a bucket that's full of water and you think you're saving it and it's exposed to mosquitoes, they're gonna lay their eggs in that water, and it's just gonna become a haven for mosquitoes. So dump the water out. And if you don't dump the water out, go ahead and put some mosquito dunks in there if it's standing water and it's water you want. This is how I control mosquitoes in my house. And if I'm desperate, I use these and I just crack them up and put them in the water, because they are annoying. They'll fly. It'll be like pig pen. They'll fly around your face, and you'll be swatting, and nobody will know what you're swatting at. They are bad. They can get super bad quickly. I don't know how many eggs these mosquito gnats lay, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Imagine if one lays maybe, I don't know, 50 larvae, or 10, even 10 larvae. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? So go ahead and soak it in this and water your plants with mosquito bit water, or use this, or to avoid the problem completely, sterilize your soil. There have been people who put their soil in the oven. I don't recommend that, because I don't know, sometimes they have some stuff in there that can, first of all, it smells to high heaven if you burn soil. It has a smell. And some of the stuff in the soil is flammable. So I don't recommend that, although there are people doing it. I guess they heat their soil up to a certain level, and it burns up whatever bacteria and larvae in there. And the hot water thing, I think that's a safer method, because that's not only is that getting rid of anything that you don't want in the soil, it's also hydrating the soil. So you could just, after it cools down, you could just go ahead and use that and pot your stuff up, and you could bring the plants in the house before anything else shows up, and you don't have to worry about that problem started. I didn't do that, because I'll go and get a bag of potting soil and start just potting it up, because I figured, or I think I should know better by now. I figure that the soil should be sterile. It's in a plastic bag, and they're supposed to sterilize the soil before they sell it to us. Well, who's to say that there's not a hole in the bag? You know how many times I've found holes in those bags at the big box store? And if it gets wet, mosquitoes are going to lay their eggs in it, or gnats are going to lay their eggs in it. Usually it's gnats. And you're going to bring that in your house, and before you know it, you're going to have an infestation. So if you do, this is what I use. Mosquito bit water, or mosquito dunk water. Crack these up. See, I've already used half of them because I was desperate. I didn't have this initially. I had to order it. Don't be like me. This is Jamerica from Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me. I hope this helps somebody. It happens to everybody eventually. Just going to say that because it's true. Some people don't like to admit it. Eventually, if it hasn't happened, it will. Do not feel bad about it. It's not you. You didn't do anything wrong. You just happened to get a contaminated bag of soil. The soil is still good. It just had larvae in it, mosquito larvae or gnat larvae, and those things reproduce quickly. And I'm telling you, it's not your fault. And if you have plants, you'll come across it eventually. So when you do, because it's not if, it's when, go ahead and make yourself some water with mosquito bits in it, or the dunk water, and go ahead and water your plants, and the problem will resolve itself. Well, it won't resolve itself. It will resolve. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everybody for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep planting, y'all. I know it's cold, but we all go through that, right? Bye.